All right, so today we're going to be doing a little bit of a tier list gamers. We're going to be going over each of the characters in the CBT2, and I'm going to rate them based off of feel, just because we can't rate them off of how good they are. Since this is still a beta, they can obviously change all of that. They can make it, you know, they can rework a whole character's kit for all I know. But for now, this is just going to be how they feel, so you can look out for them. If you want a character that feels good, you know, you can be like, oh, I want that character. Or you get hype behind another character. You know, this is just lets you know stuff. It's a no words video. But let me just drop the people I haven't played right here. Let's see. Haven't played her. And I got her, but I didn't have time to build her because I had surgery. So I lost all that time, sadly. But all these characters, I will be rating based off of feel. Starting with the Drip Lord, the scientist, the Dragon Knight himself. For this guy, he feels really nice to play. I'm going to put him A just because he feels nice to play. He has a good rotation. He's a good support character, like a sub DPS. But where he falls off is his concerto meter gains. I feel like it's a little wonky feeling. Like if his concerto meter charged a smidget faster, then I'd be able to rate him higher. But there's a lot of the times that I find myself spamming his basic attacks, just waiting for that meter to fill, and just it taking way too long for him as being a sub DPS role. Also, his outro buffs heavy attack damage, and I don't really spam heavy attacks for any of these characters. I don't know who you would spam heavy attacks for to get that off, but it is a nice bonus. It's just not one of those bonuses that I would find myself utilizing to the extreme. I'd rather something like an elemental type bonus to go with it. This chick, I gotta put C just because she has a doll unit, and I really did not enjoy that. You basically stand off in the background and watch from a distance as one of your minions does the fighting for you. I do think her damage was pretty bad, but on top of that, she is a support. But I didn't fully build her for that. I'm not gonna put her in haven't played because I did try her out a little bit. I did play her a little bit, but it did not feel good, so I didn't fully level her. Maybe she is a cracked support, but just feel alone, she was not fun to use. Was this Don Jin? That's her name? She felt really good to play. After I learned how to play her, she felt really good. It just falls back on that having to use your HP. Having to use your HP to get your maximum damage off. And if you're in the open world and you're fighting minions, then you basically fall off because a minion can one-shot you just by hitting you once, you know? You're already using your HP to deal damage, so you hit one minion, your HP's low, and then they hit you back, and oh, you should have dodged. It's like, oh, this trash mob, which any other character could have murked on or take the hit from, ends up killing you, since that's the whole reason you have to... The only way you can do damage is by using your HP. So we gonna put her... She feels incredible for bosses. It makes you feel really cool because it makes you lock in order to dodge all the boss's attacks. So I'm gonna put her A just because she doesn't feel good in the open world. Amber 2.0, I actually really like her, but I do not like her Gyat move where you just pull out the guns and you start blasting them. I like it, but I don't like how long it lasts. I wish it was a short kind of unload of your guns and then it's done. Like it lasted half the time, but it dealt double the damage. She is enjoyable. Put her B, but she's not enjoyable enough in my opinion. Now, I think her name's Verona. She's cracked. S. Easy. I heard some people say that she didn't feel good to use, but that's them. She did everything possible that I would like. She healed all of my teammates. Burst healing, might I add. She burst healed all my teammates. You could hot swap to her and quickly swap off because her concerto meter gains was massive. She had off-field damage with her ult and off-field healing with her ult. She does everything. She was so good. She's everything I'd want a support to do. The one thing that I wish was that her skill did a little bit something different. But overall, she was very good to use. She felt very good. Jian. God, I can't remember all these Chinese names. Green Boy. S tier. Open world. He felt incredible. Bosses. His DPS felt a little lackluster unless I comboed him with a bunch of outro skills to blast the DPS sky high. Actually, no. Even when you're using your ult, your DPS falls off a little bit. It doesn't feel as good as if I use Don Jin. And Don Jin felt just cracked. But he felt good. I wish it was a little more. But he would auto parry attacks because his attacks lasted on screen for so long with his ultimate. You could auto parry attacks from the boss. So you just pop your ult, you're swinging your blade, the boss will do a parry move. You don't have to time it at all. You just keep swinging. They'll run into you and they get hit by the parry and then you just keep damaging. His ult, he's the best character in the game. He is by far the best character in the game. Unless one of these characters I haven't played is OP. Jian. Oh my god, I don't know if you can make a character better than that. He'd have to be power creep so hard in the DPS department. It's wild. Everyone needs to wish for this man on release. They'd have to nerf him so hard for him to be useless at all. For him to even leave S tier, they'd have to nerf the heck out of him. This chick, another starting character chick. She felt good. She felt really good. I put A. She felt nice. Her charge attack lasted a little too long for me. Like you hit somebody, you throw them up into the air, you do a combo, and then you hit them back down on the ground. That lasted a hot minute. Maybe you can do the same combo as you did with, I don't see him here, but Concerto guy. Concherio. Kakarot. The guy's name's Kakarot in the Chinese server. I don't see him here. I'm gonna assume this. I'm gonna pretend this character's Kakarot. The white-haired guy that looks like Sephiroth. I'm gonna pretend this is him. He has an ability that lets you do the same kind of charge up move as her, but you can leave the field. And I'm assuming she can do the same thing. I'm gonna assume that she can do the same thing. But honestly, I don't know. She's good, but I don't see her being S tier. Like I could see her being, if I can move it here, but I don't see her being S tier. She's just a solid character. She doesn't do anything extravagantly like these characters do. This chick, she's so fun to play. She is so fun to play. I do wish that she had, I'm gonna put her here. I do wish she had a bit more dazzle when she dashes through her ice and makes it blow up. And she also has an outro that is a supporting ice build. I have a couple, we're lacking characters in this tier list. Ling Yang would be here anyway. The guy that dashes around with the lion mask, he'd be down here because I haven't played him enough. He was fun though. But this chick, yeah, I think she just deserves there. She's solid. She's really fun to play. But I don't know. She didn't feel like she did enough damage for the setup that you had. Maybe as like a burst. Maybe as a sort of burst DPS. You go in, you throw all your ice, you pop it, and then you leave. I could see her being bottom S. Especially with the fun factor there. She was really fun to use. I'm going to leave her there just in case. I'm just going to leave her there. Very bottom of S. She was super enjoyable. Her burst DPS capabilities was fun as well. You just throw out all your ice, you dash through it, you're golden, and then you switch out. Her concerto meter gains was a little slow, if I do remember, but overall she was fun enough for me to put her bottom S. This guy, cracked. So cracked. I'm conflicted on whether or not he goes in front of the healer, though. Ooh, honestly, yes. Now, hear me out. There are two reasons that I put him here. The first reason, he has a skill with a low cooldown that is a taunt. So, where Verona would heal you if you got hit, he makes it to where you're definitely not going to get hit because of the taunt move, or the dummy minion move. That is so unbelievably powerful. It is so strong for you to just throw out your minion and then leave. Now, sometimes the boss won't track to the minion and he'll still go after you, but even then, most of the times, I'd say 70% of the time, they'd still go after the minion if you just pop it in front of their face. And on top of that, you can dash through your wind and have like a fat movement speed. So if you're really close to the boss and the boss is going to do, for example, the monkey boss does a spin attack, you could dash through that and get distance away from them, so you don't have to dodge spam the wind attack. You can just leave. The spin attack, you can just leave. And he also buffs aerial damage, the wind damage. And Ji-Yuan, he is a perfect combo with Ji-Yuan. I keep saying Ji-Yuan. I'm not even 100% sure if that's his name. He's a perfect combo with this guy. This guy's S tier, and this guy combos with it. That only moves him up the list to being right next to him. You know what I mean? He felt incredible. He felt so good as a support. The main character Chan, she was a solid character. I'll just put her here. Honestly, Don Jin, I'm sorry, you deserve to be up there. You are good. You're good. I could swap these two though. We'll do this. We'll do that. Because at least she doesn't have to die when she uses her kit. And she groups all the enemies up, and she's pretty solid. For the main character Chan, you just go right there. Honestly, bottom of A sounds right. She's just solid. She's not bad. She's not OP. She's just solid. Just a reliable character. This guy, he was cool and all. I did not enjoy him though. I mean, a lot. So basically your E ability, you would throw down a pillar and then you would just spam basic attacks. And that was it. His whole kit was just spamming basic attacks. And then you do like a charge attack sometimes, and then you go back to spamming basic attacks. He was just not super fun for me. Now for Conchero guy, the Severoth 2.0, which I'm going to pretend this guy is. He felt strong. He felt really strong DPS. I didn't get to fully finish building his DPS mode, but he did feel solid. He felt solid enough for me to put him here. Just because in the beta, he was very wonky feeling. Not very wonky. So the way that he works is that you would hit a basic attack, use your skill, hit a basic skill, basic skill, basic skill. And it has that sort of combo sort of thing you go, and you flip-flop back and forth between them. The problem lies where you couldn't really... It didn't have a good feeling to do that flip-flop mechanism. You'd think that it would have a specific rhythm you wanted to follow, but each basic attack that he did had a different timing to it. So it felt terrible to do that flip-flop mechanic, even though it felt really cool and really like fun to be able to, weave in your basic attacks and skills. It did not feel like it was finished. Like he was an unfinished character because of that weird timing that they had going on with his basic attacks and his skill. He also had the ability to use your charge attack and then switch off characters after you started the charge attack, which was really solid. That was cool. And his ultimate was just a worse version of Ji Yuan, in my opinion. It did a good amount of damage. You know, it was really flashy. It did a bunch of damage, and it was an enhancer ultimate, which basically just means that it enhanced his kit that he was already using to a higher degree, so it did more damage and it was flashier. But Ji Yuan, on the other hand, has the ability to auto parry all of the enemy's attacks, whereas for Sephiroth 2.0, I tried parrying and it did not register as well as Ji Yuan. Ji Yuan would auto parry everything. For Sephiroth, it did not auto parry anything. It felt like the auto parry wasn't functioning as if that's what Ji Yuan should have as well. But for the beta, Ji Yuan was just, geez, oh my god, cracked. And that is my tier list. If they are not on the tier list, that means they go into the haven't played, because everyone that I've played is rated here, which I played a lot of characters. All right, I would have been unable to play her. I tried her out, but I didn't build her at all for me to put her anywhere in here. I did hear she's good. I would assume she goes A. I can't tell. But yeah, thank you guys for coming and watching. Like, comment, subscribe. As always, I stream every day. Johnny. Mwah. Mwah.